for entertainment purposes only. And if you want true legal advice, contact your own lawyer.
All right, now, case or no case, I take you to the great Pacific Northwest, the city of Lynn, which is near Portland, Oregon, where a certain Mr. Michael Fesser, age 48, from near Portland, was upset because he claimed that the West Lynn Police Department and several members of its police force carried out unlawful surveillance of him at work because he submitted a complaint about racial discrimination to his employer in February of 2017. After he got the complaint, Mr. Fesser's boss, Eric Benson, asked his fishing buddy, the West Lynn Police Chief Terry Timus, to initiate surveillance of Mr. Fesser, which led to an arrest, which ended up being a false arrest. Upon his arrest, Fesser was ordered to step out of his SUV. Police took his phone, his cash, and a letter Fesser had written documenting the alleged racial discrimination without a warrant. Having released, Fesser was later called back to the West Lynn police station to collect his belongings, and the cops said, "Here's your stuff. By the way, you don't have a job to go back to." And so he said he lost his job. He had all this, and by the way, he said it was all, now businesses ask cops for help ferreting out crime all the time. But I'm going to ask you, Mr. Penney, I'm going to start with you.
Wow.
Is the case of Michael Fesser from West Lynn, Oregon, a case or no case?
So Mr. Fesser, I just want to, how about that, went by so fast. He's claiming racial discrimination. His boss knows the police chief, so they decide to put some cameras in the work that are videoing something or him.
I think it was actual eyeball surveillance.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then they surveilled him, and then they arrested him, and they took his money, and they took his wallet.
But why did they arrest him again? What was the
allegedly for theft.
Okay, allegedly for theft. Okay, so the question is, was there something that he really did steal that they arrested him for and that was legitimate? And that's the first question. Because what I'm doing here is I'm doing this analysis thinking it's just very logical what the answer would be. It's just not fair. They arrested him and they shouldn't have arrested him and it was a case and he should win. But that's just too logical and too direct, and that's why I'm scared, because I need points. So I'm going to say it's a case, and that way I can get 1 point. A case, and I'm going to say the police win. He does not win for some reason, because something to the effect of there was something that he really did do legitimately wrong that had nothing to do with the racial discrimination issue. Even though there may have been some racial discrimination, it had nothing to do with it. That's what I say.
All right, Mr. Cunin, I'm sure you have some thoughts on whether this is a case. As a person who does a lot of criminal defense, I'm sure some things floated across your rather fertile brain on this. What say you?
So you said
there ain't no fertile in him right now at all.
Nope, it's all pretty much barren. So you said his name was Fesser?
Hold on.
Fesser, as in...
Hold on. Michael Fesser, age 48, from West Lynn, Oregon.
So if you were on his side, you would be pro-Fesser, and if you were opposed to him, you would be
an anti-Fesser.
Well, you'd be a confessor,
okay.
As in confessing a crime.
Good point.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is interesting.
Where's your little dingling thing?
Yeah, I know.
Cal,
I'm not thinking
you're
of
not
it.
thinking.
I'm just
I'm
hearing dinglings.
So here's the thing: if it ended up being a false arrest, but the officers had a good faith belief in that a crime had occurred, they can generally get around the warrant requirement.
Cal's the one that swings the bat after the already in the catcher's mitt.
So I'm going to say, I hate to say it. Now, Fred, you said case and the police win,
Police
right?
win.
I mean, I know you're doing that to get points, but I got to say, I was leaning the same way as he was laying it out. It sounds like Fesser should win. It sounds like he was wronged. It sounds like he had a slam dunk case, but something tells me that the thing that makes this interesting is that the court is, through a bunch of legal maneuverings, going to ultimately say it might look bad, but they really didn't violate the law in what they did. So...
Well, let me ask you this, because this is purely academic at this point, because we're going to kill time till the next break. Time, excuse me. Can a police officer pull you over and say, I want your wallet, I want your cell phone, and I want your cash, and I want them now? under normal circumstances.
Cash.
Yeah.
Okay, without
Yeah, I took his
anything,
cash, too.
without
Yeah,
anything more, if the testimony is, evidence is, the officer just decided he wanted to pull him over and take that stuff, no, he can't do that. That's an unlawful search and seizure. However, if the officer can point to, even though he didn't tell the suspect this, if the officer can point to
Probable cause?
reasonable suspicion to detain,
Right.
and argue that for a safety purpose, he had to pat the person down and then retrieve that stuff, he can get around it. So I think it's a case. I think he loses. The other thing is, it was the jurisdiction from the other jurisdiction that did the investigation.
So you're with me on
Yeah.
that.
So both
I'm
of you
with
say
you.
case and
Yes.
the
Police win.
Yeah, police
Yes.
win. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and then don't forget, stay with us because we're going to get into Weinstein. Something about there's police issues there, and whether or not it's tied in with our case here, our case or no case. We're going to be back after this. Cal, take us out.
We are built.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
This is Radio Law Talk.
All right, here we go. Cal, tell us what happens in this case where near Portland, Oregon, where this individual made a discrimination claim and the owner of the business brought forth his friend, apparently someone he knew in the police department. They did a surveillance, arrested him for stealing something, and now he's saying that was improper. You shouldn't have done that due to the fact, among other things, look, you did this because I brought up a discrimination issue within the workplace.
Yes, by the way, the chief, his name is Terry Timeus, Timeus, and he's referred to in the article, and this may be a hint to you, as the former police chief.
We might just get 1 point. Huh?
So for those of you who say this is a case, may I
Yes.
see that's Fred and Todd.
Yes, we at least get a point.
Okay.
All right.
For those of you who say that the police won, that would be Fred and
Todd.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
my heavens, what happened?
This is an interesting story to me, just because it goes to show you how when you're in a smaller community where everybody seems to know everyone,
Yes.
that they give each other a pass on stuff that normally you would never give each other a pass on.
Got it.
You'd never say, oh,
Fishing buddy.
you're discriminating against an employee. Well, that's okay. I can back you up on that. So what happened is Mr. Fesser won, who sued for false arrest, malicious prosecution, defamation, and invasion of privacy in the summer of 2018, and received, wait for it, the largest payout for wrongful arrest in the state of Oregon history at that time, $600,000.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Right.
Wow. And the question, what did they claim he stole? Did it say what they claim he stole?
He worked in a wrecking yard, but he wasn't in the car parts department. He ran the auctions for salvaged cars.
Got you.
But for some reason, the boss said, "Oh, this guy's pulling a discrimination thing on me, buddy. Will you see if you can find something to hang on him?"
Right.
And so guess what? Justice prevailed in this case. Now, Mr. Fesser runs a support program for men getting out of prison, and he filed a complaint and he won. It's interesting. He did have a prison record for an unrelated offense using a telephone to make a drug deal.
Huh.
So the boss goes to the cops and said, well, he's dirty looking. He's a former drug dealer. We can go get him.
Yeah.
But I just love it when justice prevails. And apparently, based on what we're seeing in this case, that's how it went. And so that,
Good
ladies
one.
and gentlemen, thank
Good
you,
one.
is case or no case. And
Go to the website, radiolawtalk.com. That's radiolawtalk.com.